unite in the light. Where the brawn meets the brush. Our stories told in this love imagination mode. With every stroke, adventures unfold. We's in my soul, soul and soul. Guidance in hand and worlds to explore. Roll the future, hear the dice roll. Gaming realms of muscles drawn. Together in this place where we belong. Golden spells casting dreams until the dawn. Leveling up and the world to follow. With painted heroes shining bright. Venturing onward in the endless time. Where the brawn meets the brush. Our stories told in this love imagination mode. With every stroke, the factors unfold. Peace of our soul, our soul. Where the brawn meets the brush. Our stories told in this love imagination mode. With every stroke, the fate to light for. Peace of our souls, our soul.
Well, it would work if I turned the mic on. Hello, hello, hello. I'll say that all again. Welcome to the place where the brawn meets the brush. We are here. It is Friday. We have made it to the end of the week. Huzzah! We are done for the week. Well, for those that are not working shift work, right? Yeah, I noticed, Squarish, that I had no mic on at the time. And what's even more frustrating is the chat doesn't come through instantaneously. The chat comes through on a delay. So I was like, oh no. So I've already turned it off, and then you comment. So yeah, completely absolute noob of me. So I'm just moving some paints and models out the way so we're ready to start. How are we all? Are we well? Are we good? Hopefully you can now hear me. Just drop it in the chat if you can't hear me and let me know. In fact, I will stick a message in the chat. There we go. So we're here. Oh, I don't like this music. A bit too creepy. Let's try this one. So how are we? We made it to the end of the week. Thank the Lord. Let's scroll to the top of my agenda so I know what the heck I'm talking about. I don't like this music either. Oh, you're saying all good now? Fantastic. Let's change this. What we this? We usually use this one. I think it is. Is it this one? Oh no, I like that. That's okay. We can use that. So, welcome people. Happy Friday. I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we sorted out that stupid mic issue. It's because when I play the intro theme, the mic is muted because the sound comes from the video. And I forgot to turn it off when I switched across to the main camera. What a douche. Anyway, hello. How are we? Stick it in. I hope you stick it in the chat, that is. I hope you're all good in the hood. I say I hope we're all good in the hood. So, this week's Minis and Muscles. Plenty to talk about. Lots of chat. I'm hoping for lots of participation from you guys and gals as well. Hello, Honey Ann. Hello, Squarish. How are you guys? Hopefully you've had a wonderful week of creative geekiness and wonder. As I sort of clean my little geeky paint area off. So for this week, we have got our general discussion topic. So I wanted to keep the general discussion kind of open this week to lots of different things. So not specifically honing in on one thing. It's just more of an open chat night. So not specifically aimed at one thing. So we'll cover anything to do with geek. So if you want to talk about Warhammer, we'll talk about Warhammer. If you want to talk about Pokemon, we'll talk about Pokemon. We'll talk about anything you like to talk about. We'll also talk, we'll briefly touch on Dragon Meet. So that is a sort of tabletop role-playing game, stroke board game event that happens yearly here in the UK. It happens in London in a delightful place called Hammersmith. And that is an event I attended the other weekend. And I just sort of wanted to talk about that really because it was last weekend and it's something to chat about. So we'll chat about that. And again, any geek topic that comes to mind. So I'm leaving that open so we can have a bit of engagement through the chat. Me and you can talk about stuff, whatever it is you like. Our muscle moment is going to be exercising in... Oh, why did I do a thumbs down? I didn't do a thumbs down. Let's try a thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. No, it doesn't get it. Oh, it did do it, finally. The muscle moment for this week, because every week here on Minis-N-Muscles, we talk about a little bit of fitness, because it's not about just healthy mind, being a geek, but healthy body too, because I believe that anybody, no matter what you look like, who you are, doesn't matter, we can all enjoy fitness and we can all enjoy geekery too. So we're going to be talking about exercising in winter. That's going to be our topic, so sort of overcoming dark nights and that kind of theme. Painting. We are back with our emulator. Huzzah! She has returned from battle. Semi-victorious. We'll cover that off in a bit. But she didn't die, so that's good. So we're going to continue painting our emulator tank. There's a few more little details that I need to start adding. I'm going to put some mud on the tracks and a bit up the sides. And just starting to really tidy things up to get it ready to rock. But it is, as we know, it is kind of ready, and it can be used on the battlefield, so it's not like it's a terrible addition there. It's ready to rock. What else? We've got some chat coming through. Squarish is saying, what a shame I couldn't make Dragon Meet this year. Looking forward to hearing how it all went. Hopefully going to make it next year. Bearded Veteran saying, yeah, it's the Stevatron. Yes, the Stevatron is back. Back from battle. She was victorious. Let's cover that off now, actually. Let's cover that off now. So, last weekend, just after the live show, I finished off a game of Warhammer 40,000 that I was playing with a buddy of mine. And the emulator tank did well. I didn't take Mini Steve on top. That's kind of just a flavour thing for the tank, just so it looks funky and cool. But the battle was pretty good. I'm starting to get a grip with my Battle Sisters army and starting to understand how the mechanics work and how you can play and how you can do X, Y, Z. And I did pretty well. I did not win by points. I've sort of... Because Warhammer works... Well, you can only win in 10th edition in Warhammer by points. Points are gained by getting victory points by objectives. So once you cover an objective, you get a victory point. Whilst I'm chatting, I'm just going to prep some paintbrushes. Yeah, whilst you're playing, you've got some objectives. If you hit those objectives, you get victory points. Victory points, as always, points mean prizes, as in you can win. So what happens is, let's switch over to this camera. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. So yeah, so I was playing... The first year of me playing Warhammer, I thought, okay, so let's not worry too much about winning. Let's just understand how my army works, how they move, you know, all their sort of bonuses, and let's just get that wrapped. So I actually have kind of written off the first year of playing Warhammer and residing to losing, really. But what I have noticed is when I first started playing... I was getting absolutely wiped off the table and acquiring no points whatsoever. So my whole army was getting destroyed and I was getting no points. Now, what's happening now is I am losing the battles by points, but I'm winning by killing off the enemy. As in, it's a moral victory, not a victory by the book. because you only win by points in 10th edition. But I'm taking the moral high ground and winning via my games via beating them into a pulp and destroying their models, regardless of victory points, just so I can understand how the mechanics of the models work, rather than focusing on tactics to win victory points. So, because there's two parts of it really of the game. You have to understand how your models work, and then you work on gaining the victory points through capturing objectives. Now, I just thought, sod the objectives off. Don't worry about that for now. Let's learn how the models work. Once you become effective at using your models, you can then start to adapt your gameplay to hit objectives. So now, the past couple of games I've played, I've actually done full wipes of enemies, which is awesome. So I'm really happy about that. So, and the immolator tank, as you see here in the picture, she did well. She did very well indeed, and she stood up to a barrage of enemy fire, but she still lasted, and she saw out the end of the battle. Wasn't quite as effective as what I thought it would be, but you know, still sort of toying around with tactics right now. So let's jump into chat. Adrian is here. Hello, Adrian. Good evening, sir. You are saying, hello, evening, Mr. Muscles. Good evening, Mr. Adrian. How are you? I hope you are well. I hope you've had a good week. So as I said, when we fired up the stream tonight, is just about tidying up this immolator tank and starting to add in a few little details here and there. So the majority of this tank is painted, right? So it now comes into the painful process of adding bits and bobs here and there as you see it, really. This is the part that always gets me in model building. I lose I lose patience, and I'm like, oh, I just want to get on and play. So now it's like testing me. So it's really sort of testing my patience to stick at it and keep going. So all I'm going to do tonight is just be going around the model, highlighting small little bits, and just adding a few details, nothing major. So there's things that I want to add on to here, like on the front of the tank here, there's these two little areas that have got little shrines in them almost. I'm going to fill those with a bit of white, or a bit of off-white actually. So we've got those to do. We've got things like the cables and the casing around these flamers. I'm going to paint them red because I like red. So we're going to do that, and that's also very in keeping with our Sisters of Battle theme. And because we painted the bolter this side, actually, we painted the bolter in red, I thought we should do those in red as well. So that would look on point. Oh, you've retracted a message, Adrian. What's up? Did you swear? But yeah, how is everyone anyway? Come on, tell me how you all are. Give us the update on your weeks. That's what we normally cover in the first part of Minis and Muscles on our Friday night lives. Friday Night Live with Steve and Minis and Muscles. We normally have a little catch up on how our week's been. So my week this week has been... It's been okay. Been tough for some reasons. Work-wise, just been a bit frustrating on some elements. But it's okay. I'm here. We're here. We've got it through. We made it through the week. And it's Friday, so I can't complain too much. But hey, work is always stressful, right? No matter what you do. And I'm sure you guys have all had stressful weeks too. None of us, I assume, have won the lottery yet. I've been bloody trying, people, I tell you. I've been trying, but it's just not happening for me. So I'm doing something wrong. Anyone got any lottery tips? Stick it in the chat. Yeah, so, oh, Adrian, it's your birthday! Sir, happy birthday! Absolutely happy birthday. I hope you've had a wonderful day. Did you have a day off, Adrian? What have you done for your birthday? What are you doing for your birthday? Come on, tell us all. May we ask the question of how old you are, sir? Is that a... Can you ask that question nowadays? People get very upset about their age, you know. I'm not bothered to say I'm 40. In fact, I'm not bothered at all because the other year I actually thought I was already 40. And it wasn't until someone reminded me and said, oh no, you're not actually 40 till next year. And I was like, oh, I've been telling everyone I'm 40. So I made a bit of an error there in my birth. Never mind. Aged myself prematurely. So all we're doing now is just going around these flamers, just giving them a bit of our Sisters of Battle red, just to tie in with the rest of the army. I think it'll look quite nice. Apologies if you can't quite see as I'm tipping this up and round. There's a bit of a tight spot here. So again, and I do mention this often with my impatience of putting together a model. So I, should never have really put these on without painting them first. It would have made it so much easier. And I advise you do that. It's just through my own impatience that I don't. So if you've got pieces like this that are going to be close together. And that could be just on a singular infantry model, or if you were, I don't know, painting a Space Marine or a Sisters of Battle or a D&D model, all the way through to building and assembling big vehicles like this. If you've got some sections that are close together, it's always worth making sure that you do some pre-painting just to get those areas that are a little bit more difficult. So, dragon meat. Oh, hang about, we've got some chat coming in here. Bit of veterans saying, just been painting a 110 bust of Princess Elizabeth in her ATS uniform and a shed load of live streams. Nice work, sir. So, what's that? World War II Princess Elizabeth. Prior to her being queen. So when she was in the auxiliary corps or whatever it was called, I can't remember what it was bloody called. Yes, she did serve, and she was. That's what she's quite. There's quite a few famous photos of her actually driving Land Rovers about and stuff. And that's apparently where she got her love for Land Rovers. So Queen Elizabeth then used to drive Land Rovers about everywhere. So whether she was in Balmoral in Scotland in her home, she was often caught by members or seen by members of the public driving her Land Rovers around the estate, even not too much before she passed. So yeah, she was quite renowned for that. Bless her soul. What else we got in chat? Honey Ann is saying, my week has been rather chill. I was off work this week. My plans for why I took off work fell through, so I spent the week doing things around where I live that I don't normally do. Hey, do you know what? That's not bad. Although your plans never came to fruition, actually getting things done that you sometimes forget is always a nice little treat. So I'm glad it worked out and there was a silver lining there and it was a positive. I always try to think that there's a positive in every situation regardless of what it is. So I try to remain positive even in the crap times. So sometimes it feels like you can never be positive about stuff, and I get that feeling, pretty often. So I'm glad that things came through, Honey Ann. And let's face it, right? A week off is a week off. And you can still do loads of cool stuff. So I'm hoping that it was a mega time. What else we got in chat? Adrian saying, I had the day off and went to Guildford and had a Five Guys cheeseburger. Oh, nice. I do like Five Guys, actually. I normally double patty it if I go there, because they are quite delicious. The old Five Guys. What else we got in chat? Bearded Veteran is saying, I wind the wife up by reminding her she's nearly 40. She's actually 38, but I'm 2 years younger, so it's fun to remind her from time to time. Auxiliary Territorial Service. That's what it was, yeah. Auxiliary Territorial Service. That's where Queen Elizabeth served in World War II. Yeah. Oh, so I'm actually older than you, Bearded Veteran, hey? So I did not realise. Not that you ever talk about age, really, especially as blokes. We don't really talk about that kind of thing. But there's nothing wrong with being 40. I found it completely no different, as usual. Birthdays are massively overrated, aren't they? You kind of gear them up to be something, and then they just turn out to be nothing. I find. But maybe that's just me. But drop a comment in if you think any different. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Dragon Meat. Dragon Meat. So, event held in London for tabletop role-playing games and board games. You know, it's very heavy D&D kind of theme, or you know, but there's lots of other stuff going on there, especially a multitude of homemade type RPGs and what do they call them? Is it indie RPGs they're made by a sort of a non-big brand? But there was loads of them. There was some such cool games. I'm trying to remember a few. I've got a poster over there. I should have brought it over actually. Of just some games that I found. Oh damn! It'll come to me in a minute. But there was one. It was like a mix between D&D and Warhammer. So it was involving these little animals, and you choose your animal group, and each animal group has its own benefit of being that animal group, right, or that animal type. And then each group has got a wizard, a rogue, a barbarian, and one other class, but I can't remember which one. And then it's like PvP, so player versus player. So you've got the sort of D&D element of the classes mixed with Warhammer style PvP. And you have these small maps, and you have these like skirmish battles, and it looks absolutely cool. And the minis look really epic. You do have to paint them, so it's still, you know, hobbying in that sense, in the traditional sense. But it looks really good, and I thought that was probably one of the highlight games for me that I saw. I really liked that game. I like the look of it. I like that sort of, probably because I love Warhammer and D&D, I liked that culmination between the two. I thought that was real cool. So I'd love to play that at some point. I don't know when I'll get around to playing it, but that was really cool. There was another game called Tunnels and Trolls that was released many moons ago. It's now being re-released. So it's a bit like D&D, but slightly easier, less crunchy mechanics, and just a sort of easier gameplay style. But that sounded pretty cool. I was chatting to a guy about that. Then what else was there? Oh, there was this epic little tabletop role-playing game that I saw that was built by a guy in his, must be only like 25 or so, and he's written loads of these sort of off-the-shelf one-shot type RPGs, tabletop RPGs, and one of them was you're a pro wrestler, and the one-shot takes you through a full season of pro wrestling, and the sort of you know, you're rolling to win and all the rest of it through that. I thought that was quite cool. I've never seen anything like that before, so I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty sweet. So I did like that. I will remember the name of that game with the animals. That was really smart. The models were so cool. But yeah, they're all very, very good. Bearded Veteran is saying, you are indeed. My beard makes me look older than I am. Yeah, I'm the old git here, man. Well, actually, I think Adrian is older than me. Sorry, Adrian, for dropping your numbers in there. But you are older than me, sir. Not by... yeah, actually, you're older than me by a fair bit, I think. But age is nothing, right? Doesn't matter, age. Completely irrelevant. Let me get that little flyer, because it's really bugging me. Wait 2 seconds. Okay, so it gives me a couple of things to talk about, actually. So, this is the game. Here it is. I don't want pension stuff. I don't know why I've got that. So, here it is. Zoom-Tails. Zoom-Tails Battle Royale. Look at the little minis. They're so cool. They're awesome. In fact, if I hold it here. There you go. Zoom-Tails. Look at the minis. They're epic. Oh, look, if you want to fight, there you go. You can scan it. Look, there you go. Rulebook and how to play. There you go. By a company called Dice Heads. And I really love the look of that. I think it looks really, really cool. It's not complicated by any stretch of the imagination, which is cool because I get confused very quickly. So that looked like a really good game. The other good game that I saw was this. Tunnels and Trolls. So there's the little troll fella. Yeah, look, you can sign up there. I did get a fin. It says there free pin. I did get a free pin actually. But yeah, this is getting launched soon. But this looks like a really fun little game. Then what else? Oh yeah, these guys are pretty cool. So this is Modular Worlds. They do loads of mini printing. So I don't know if you've seen some of my shorts that I've made, but on some of those shorts I had models like, let me grab them so you can see. See, I'm running away out of view a lot on this camera, but I am here, trust me. So, Modular Worlds, they make minis like this. Let's move the tank for a moment. They make minis like this guy, and they make minis like this guy. So they're who I got this off of, well, although I made the waves, but that's what they make. They make miniatures, and they're really, really good. So they're called Modular Worlds. So if you want minis, Modular Worlds is a cool... Oh, there's the QR code, look. So you can scan it if you want to pause and scan. But they are all three really good things that I saw at... well, there are lots of good things that I saw. But that was 3 of them. I haven't got the blooming flyer for the wrestling TTRPG. That was very good. On the same stand, actually, as the Tunnels and Trolls was some RPGs like one-shots, but they were sort of different realms, and you just literally pick up the book, pull out the character sheets, and they're all there, and you take the character sheet out and you just run the one-shot. It's really, really cool, and I thought, oh, that's a neat little idea. I like that. So yeah, that was another thing I saw. Just trying to think what else. Let's carry on painting whilst we're here before I get too carried away. What else is saying in the chat? Adrian is saying he went to WH Smith's and picked up this week and last week's copy of 2000 AD. I did not go anywhere near to Games Workshop. Oh, well done. You didn't. See, that's the problem when I know there's a Games Workshop. Even if I don't buy anything, I'll always go for a little nose just to have a look and see what's in there. On the off chance something grabs my attention, but hey, I'm in not austerity because I don't have to be being tight, but I'm trying to be really good with my money. And I've said to myself, right, I'm going to do £50 a month, and that is all I've got for spends on things that I want. So anything that I need, as in, you know, food, shower gel, all the rest of that, I can buy. That's absolutely fine. But wants, I've only got £50 a month to spend. And I will let you into a secret, I've spent mine already. Absolutely happy with that. But I've spent my £50 allowance already. So I'm just trying to be a bit more frugal to save up some cash. Because I want to try and save up a bit more money. So that's my frugality coming out there. So there we go. Look, we've got the guns are looking a bit more painted, which is nice, including the orange sort of flamer cables. We need some silver around the front of them, actually. We've missed some bits where we've been painting away. Tunnels and Trolls, Adrian is saying, is a really good game. Okay, so if you, I know it was released many moons ago. I think the guy said it was originally released in the 70s, I want to say. So yeah, yeah, it was a game a fair time ago, but yeah, so I do want to try that one. Well, what else did I go to Dragon Meat for, and what did I see at Dragon Meat? So the reason I went to Dragon Meat, as forever, I was there representing Game Therapy UK, so a registered UK charity that do therapeutic gaming for lots of different groups. So as we all know, and I mention it every stream, I run the veterans side. So that's called Tactical Advanced to Game. Anybody can join Tactical Advanced to Game if you're a veteran or a serving person. And it's all free. And you can come and join some free tabletop role-playing games with GMs like myself or GMs like Squarish, who's in the chat. You can play games with Adrian, who's in the chat as well. So there's loads of us who are here. Bearded Veteran, you can jump on and play games with him. So, you know, there's plenty of choices out there, and that can be from Dungeons and Dragons all the way through to other tabletop role-playing games that we do on the Discord. So if you're a veteran, you can easily sign up. You can find us on Facebook, so that's where you'll find us. So feel free just to jump on in there and find us. You'll get a link to a Discord, and you can join the Discord and come and say hello to us all. That would be lovely. Yeah, see, I really did make a boo-boo here of putting these together like this. It makes things so bloody awkward. See, impatience. Not good. Oh, it's not too bad actually around that side. Alright. Okay, we can tidy that up now. Have you noticed how pissed that one flamer is? Have you seen? It's a bit wonky, isn't it? There you go, look. Oh, bit wonky. This one here. Bit wonky, but never mind. Adrian's saying about Tunnels and Trolls. It came out after D&D, although it seemed like what now we call a light version. Yeah. Yeah, I think now they're just running it real light. They've stripped it back to make it really simple, really quick, really easy to play. I think that was what the guy was saying is the intent there. Because they don't want anything being super difficult. They want people just to be able to pick it up, play it, and put it away after a day, right? So I think that's a good idea. I'm certainly behind it. I think it's pretty cool. What else we've got here to do? Oh, I've got those little bits there. Let's get some bronze. Never took itself too seriously. Yeah, that's the vibe I got from the game. Like sometimes D&D can get, some people especially can get very serious playing D&D. But it feels like, you know, Tunnels and Trolls is actually quite nice. It's quite relaxed, it's quite chilled. There's not tons of rules that you have to learn, and you know, without learning them you really do falter. So it feels like, you know, you can get a bit more of an easier ride out of it, which is nice. I'm actually going to swap brushes here and just change across to a smaller brush, because we've got the lip just on the back of these cables here. There's a tiny little sort of metal nut thing that I just want to colour. I'm just going to rest that there for a second and just bring my light in a bit closer. Sorry for blocking the top part of the screen, but if not, I'll be blind and I won't see what I'm doing. Yeah, so Dragon Meat was really cool. There was loads of other stuff there. So they had like a bring and buy sale, so people were buying, you know, second-hand board games and tabletop role-playing games and books and stuff. There was a whole floor dedicated to playing games. So you can literally turn up to Dragon Meet and just play D&D or whatever all day freaking long. It's mega, and it's over the whole weekend as well. So you can do that. Game Therapy UK actually had a seminar, so I jumped in with a panel of other GTUK volunteers, and we ran a seminar on therapeutic gaming and how it sort of benefits the various different people that we help. So that was really nice to sort of sit there and just spread a bit of the good word about what we do and inform people about how it can help people. That's really nice. So we did that. What else was at? I'm just trying to think what else was at Dragon Meet. Oh, of course, like if you like dice and you're a little dice goblin, because some people just absolutely love getting different new dice. Now, there was loads of dice. The one thing I found there was really cool. I don't know if any of you've seen it. It looks like a pocket watch, right? It looks like a pocket watch, and the pocket watch is a dice. And you actually rotate the disc at the top, and it gives you all of your scores for your from D20 all the way down to D4, or D100, sorry, down to D4. It was really cool. I absolutely loved it. It was like the bottom end one was like 45 quid though. So again, I was like, trying to be frugal. So no, for 45 quid, I'm going to pass. You know, if I get a good Christmas bonus or something at work, maybe I'll treat myself to one. But it was really cool. And I'd never seen one before. So that's what made it also very interesting. Like quite often, you know, everyone's seen dice, right? And there's only so many dice that you can see. I mean, some of them are very nice. Like there was LED light up ones. There was ones made of gemstones. So they're very pretty, right? But a dice is a dice. It does the same thing. But this, although it does the same outcome, the way it does it is really cool. So I did like that that pocket watch style dice. That was pretty sweet. So yeah, that was a highlight for me seeing that. But there's so many games there, literally so many games and bits and bobs going on. There wasn't any Warhammer there this year. There was the other year, and I think that was more because they just released one of the tabletop role-playing variants of Warhammer 40,000. So they just released that, and they wanted to be there to showcase that to the geek world. So that's why they were there last year, I believe. But they weren't there this year, which surprises me. There were stands that were selling Warhammer. So there's plenty of what are they called? Tradespeople that were selling Warhammer, and that was cool. But nothing there that sort of caught my eye that I thought, oh, I must have that. There was some Pokemon there, so my latest love of collecting Pokemon, and I'll give you an update on how that's going in the show today. I did find some Pokemon sellers. There wasn't a lot there, and there wasn't the set that I was after, so I did, again, I was a good boy. The only thing I bought is something that I didn't buy last year from a stand called Mammoth, I think called Mammoth Miniatures. They are a miniature printing company, very, very good. You can get a subscription to them and get their STL files in case you do your own printing of minis. But so they do like a monthly subscription where you can get, you know, access to the latest and greatest catalogue of miniatures, and you can just print them yourself, which is pretty cool. But they go to the show, and they had a load of miniatures there, and there was one last year that I didn't buy, a little dwarf character, and I love a dwarf character, so I bought him to go in my collection. It cost me like £5, I think. That's about average really, so it wasn't like ripped off or anything. And then I got to do I joined their Patreon for free, which, because the Patreon is a free subscription tier, and I got a free model. So I got, oh, I'll get him now. Look at me, up and down, up and down. I got this guy. So I got this guy for free. So I actually got him for free, so it's pretty cool. So he's an easy like 10 quid model, easy. But I got him for free. So I was well happy with that, little owlbear. So yeah, that was cool. But I only spent $5.99, so I come away from that show rather smug. What we're saying in the chat. Squarish is saying, I've just ordered the Orbital Blues book. One of the GTUK bunch is running a session of it, and I love the art style of the books. Yeah. I've not played it myself. Maybe I'll have to jump on that and play it. My campaign is looking like it will come to an end soon, so I will see if I can get in on that and play. That'd be quite cool to be a player for a little bit, even if it's just temporary. Because I like GMing. GMing is fun, but there's nothing like just turning up for a game and rolling some dice and having a laugh. You know, you don't have to think because the GM is doing all the thinking for you, really. Playing the game is quite nice. So I might come along for a game or two in the near future as a player. Be nice. Because all I do right now is GM. I don't play in any games myself, which kind of sucks. But yeah, back to Dragon Meat. That was Dragon Meat. I worked on the stand at GTUK and sort of said hello to people and helped with promotional parts. Obviously did the seminar, so talking about sort of the ins and outs of GTUK and what we do in terms of therapeutic gaming. So that was really cool. I did try running a live there actually. And when I was doing the live, oh my lord, the amount of rude people that jumped on that live, the people that aren't normally watching the stream. But crikey, I did not realise that is what happens on this platform, as in on YouTube. Did not realise that. It was just foul language and all the rest of it. I was like, oh Christ alive. It was pretty horrible, actually, to be fair. Pretty horrible. But, you know, we'll get through it, I'm sure. It annoyed me to the point where I sort of called out the person that was commenting. I said, look, you know where I am? I'm at the Novotel in Hammersmith in London. Come on by if you want to talk to me like that, and we'll step outside and have a chat. Yeah, so it's quite amusing. So what else is in chat? Adrian's saying owlbear. Yes, Adrian, owlbear indeed. That was my free little owlbear that I got when I subscribed to Mammoth Miniatures at Dragon Meat. So they had a little offer going on, which was quite cool. It was very nice indeed. What's Bearded Veteran saying? You've obviously never played D&D with me and James. We spend a lot of time weighing our options and planning our eventualities. No, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Have no problem in people planning stuff. Like a lot of my home game, you know, they have whole 3-4 hour sessions going shopping. One of the 3 hour sessions or 4 hour sessions, you know, where they were sort of doing menial tasks and stuff, they actually went and worked temporarily in a baker's shop, or a deli shop, sorry, making sandwiches behind the till, and I was getting them to roll for how good they were making sandwiches, and the character that was on the till doesn't have particularly high intelligence, so she was struggling to make the maths work, and she was just throwing money in left, right and centre into the till and giving money back that was incorrect. So that was actually quite fun. And they go into shops, and they've been into about 3 or 4 different shops now on different various sessions, and they've just come out of the shops, and they're now everywhere they go they sing and talk about the shop itself. So everyone they meet, they were like talking to the deli shop, they were like they were talking to random people as they were walking back from the town to their house, or from the city to their house. They were saying, oh, go to Nona's Deli. Nona's Deli is the best deli in the whole of Waterdeep, blah, blah, blah. It was quite funny. So they were doing that for Nona's Deli. I think it's BJ's Fish and Tackle, I think it's called. They were doing the same for that because part of the whole down session is one of the characters went fishing and the others went into the town and they bought a fishing rod and they went and sat with him. So that's quite nice. But they spend ages planning. By the way, that's water, not beer. Adrian is saying, I bet combat takes ages then, Mikey. Although Models for Heroes don't take that long. Yeah, so I've never played a Models for Heroes game, but I'm sure they're not that bad. Generally speaking, people are all right. They're not that hard to work around. Not that I've found anyway. Not that I've found. Generally speaking, people are pretty chill, pretty cool. So it doesn't, combat things like that's not too bad. The worst thing I ever have, Adrian, is communication problems. As in the internet cutting out, not actual people communications. That's the hardest thing to work around, I think. From my experience of running D&D online anyway. That makes it not hard, but it just makes it like a very frustrating point because you'll be in the middle of a conversation and then, the comms drops out and you'll be like, oh no. So that's quite a hard one to work around. Bugger. Well, I didn't get that light very well, did I? That's alright, we'll tidy it. It'll be easier. Just dump a load of colour in there and then go round with black afterwards. That'll be a lot easier. So now it's really down to fiddly bits on this model. We've done most of the sort of big stuff, right? So yeah, so what else at Dragon Meat happened? Just going to finish up on Dragon Meat so we can sort of move on to the next. To be fair, I can't think of anything else. Pretty stumped. So that must have been everything, otherwise I'd be remembering stuff. There we go, paint that red. Yeah, I think that was everything else. What's Bearded Veteran saying in the chat? Bearded Veteran is saying the combat is pretty quick, but we do a lot more detective work with the combat being an occasional break from the investigations. Yeah, so is that... yeah, so there's some parties in D&D that are quite versatile in what they want to do. So some are just combat heavy and all they want to do is fight. Fight, next thing, fight, next thing. And a player actually in my home game started like that, and then as they've got into it, they're actually quite getting into the roleplay. So it's quite amusing seeing the change in the players as well. Yeah, and also it's sometimes the role-playing part and that investigation part is more fun because combat is done and dusted pretty quick if you know what you're doing. The rest of it is actually the fun part where you get to explore the world and see everything that's going on, right? I like that part the most. So right now I'm just painting a skull inside this little sort of sighting unit, which is quite small, but we're good. We're going all right so far. Using a pretty small brush though, to be fair. So yeah, so that was my experience of Dragon Meat. If you've never been before, I 100% recommend. It's very, very good. Everything, like I said, from tabletop role-playing games to trading card games, all the way through to just standard board games. The opportunity to play them all. I think Lorcana was there the other year when it first released. And I think they were there with a little stand, or maybe that was Comic-Con. But anyway, there's plenty of stuff that goes on at these events that are very, very cool. So if you ever have a chance to jump along to one of these geeky events, be it Comic-Con, be it Gen Con in America, be it Dragon Meat here in the UK, get along to it. They're well worth it. You will meet tons of really cool people. quite often you will see some absolutely insane fancy dress, and I mean insane in a good way. The people that go to these events put some serious effort into fancy dress, and they look amazing. So well worth it. Oh, low battery coming up on the camera. We best change that over. Oh no, we've lost the camera. Bear with me, peeps. I thought I'd charged it. This camera battery's awful. Might have to buy another battery, you know, for this camera, because it seems to always drop out. So, what's Adrian saying in the chat? He's saying, not going for OSL with the lights then. OSL. Remind me, it's Friday. I don't know what you're talking about, OSL. I probably do, but I've forgotten. You're saying, make sure you buy a ticket before you attend in case it sells out. Yes! So all these events do sell out very quickly. Let's just change cameras whilst we're here. All these events do sell out very quickly, so you do have to buy your ticket in advance sometimes, unless you've got a guarantee to get in through like a charity or something like that. So very well worth getting stuff pre-booked. That would be my advice. Being a veteran saying, exactly, Stephen, our game, the skill is in achieving the goals by getting the information without triggering combat. Yes! So that's part of the fun, right? I personally think part of the fun is, you know, going into these situations trying not to antagonise. So I gave my party a situation. This is in my home game. And I'm only saying it because it happened last night, where they didn't have to fight the baddie. They didn't have to. There was no requirement for them to fight the baddie. You know, they what's it called it? They had the opportunity to either, basically the baddie said to them, you know, I wouldn't, you know, if you can fight me if you want, you have two options, or we can trade. And they said trade, and they tried to trick him, and it all fell apart, and then combat ensued. But yeah, that's very much my way of doing things. I try to offer something that's not just full-on combat. But you're right, bearded veteran. Now is the perfect time for Steve's muscle moment, or the muscle moment of the evening. So let me scroll through, because we wouldn't be the place where the brawn meets, well, the brush, if we didn't have our muscle moment. So what I wanted to talk about this week in our muscle moment was exercising in the winter. So I hate the winter. Big time. It sucks, right? It absolutely sucks. You get up in the morning, it's bloody dark. You finish work, it's bloody dark. 9 times out of 10, it's raining, or it's sleet, or it's some kind of crappy form of snow, but it's not snow. It sucks. Winter in the UK is awful, right? People love it. I don't love it. I would rather have 20 degrees all year round and sunshine and days from, you know, 7 till 10. Much better. Because in the winter, your motivation dips. You know, and when the days are shorter and when the temperature's colder, it's so much harder to stay motivated. When it's cold, you don't want to drag your ass out of bed, let alone walk outside to go to the gym or to go for a run or to do an exercise in your home gym, whatever it is. And then when your days are shorter, you've got so little time, you're like, oh my God, but I need to do this, I need to do that. And by the days getting darker, it feels like your day's over and you feel tired and you're like, oh, I'm done now. Yeah, Adrian's saying in chat, go for a run and get muddy. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 you don't want to do that. That's the problem in the winter. So I thought, well, let's kind of come up with a kind of couple of little things to talk about around that. So first, home gym. Have you thought of a home gym? Now, so take a sip. What I'm not talking about here is spending thousands upon thousands on gym kit, on a shed or a man cave, or turning your garage into something. I'm just talking about finding a space in your home. It could be a bedroom, it could be your kitchen, it could be your patio outside, it could be your garden, it could be a tiny little space that you've pushed boxes aside in your garage. It could be anywhere, right? Find a little space. You don't need loads of equipment, all right? In winter, it's very, very hard to stay motivated. Nobody wants to go in the cold. I get it. Same as me. So how about doing home exercises, all body weight exercises in your home? You could do it in your bedroom. Push your bed to one side and do body weight exercises. You could do it in your kitchen. You could do it anywhere that you have literally 6 foot by 2 foot space. That's all you need. That's not a lot of space, and 99.9% of us have got 6 foot by 2 foot space. Even if it's your hallway, you've got it. It means that you don't have to go anywhere. It's on your doorstep. It's warm and it's free, right? So home gym doesn't have to be what you expect it or what you're thinking in your mind it to be, but it's more than possible. If you're failing for motivation and you're thinking, oh, well, what do I do? You could download some exercise regimes off the internet. Just type in on the old Google and it will give you some, PDFs of stuff. Or alternatively, if you're feeling a little bit flash and you do want to spend a couple of quid, what you could do is buy some DVDs or video subscription memberships to something like Insanity workouts. So I think it's called Beachbody now, because it used to be on DVDs. You could probably buy them off eBay, but now it's on a subscription on video. I think it's called Beachbody or something like that. So you could just buy the DVDs, stick them on your laptop, and run it right in front of you, stick it on the end of the hallway, and you're stood in front of it and you're just exercising, following along. You don't even have to think. Ironically, that is what I'm going to do through the winter. So I'm about to create some space downstairs because I'm above my garage right now. I'm going to create some space in my garage, and I'm going to do that myself and set up a little workout area. So it's not hot. It's not freezing cold, but it's fairly chilled, so I don't overheat. Because I don't like getting too hot when I work out. But it gives me a quiet space. I don't have to go too far, all the rest of it. Because my motivation slumped. Because, this sort of brings me to my second point, fighting darkness. I think I've probably got sad. Not sad. I'm not a sad git. Well, actually, I'm a sad git. But seasonal affective disorder, where you don't get enough light and enough good rays from the sun, so it sort of brings you down and tips your mood over. What's Adrian saying in the chat? Laptops don't have disk drives. Some do, some don't. A disk drive you could buy off of Amazon for about 20 quid. So there you go. There's your solution if you haven't got one. Or if you don't want to buy the disk drive, all you then need to do is go on to beachbody.com. I think it's beachbody.com. Don't quote me just in case that's a weird site. But just type in Insanity workouts, you'll find it. There's a subscription there, monthly sign up, you just got digital videos. There you go. Problem solved. We're talking about fighting darkness. So I think I've got SAD, as in seasonal affective disorder, where you don't like the lack of sunlight and the shorter hours. So I'm actually going to think of buying one of them SAD lights. So, where it wakes you up in the morning and you can have it around you in a room like this, man cave, just to give you more what feels like, or the body perceives it to be, natural light to help boost your mood a little bit. It's quite helpful to have that light impact on your body, and then because you've got a little bit of warmth, because you're in a building of some sort, that will hopefully motivate you where you don't feel like you're going to freeze your knackers off just to go out and do a workout or a run outside. And then consistency. Right, consistency is a challenge we spoke about before. So, combating that, when it's dark, when you feel like you've got no time, make the workouts shorter. Half hour. Everybody here has got half hour just to jump into some phys kit and do a half hour workout. Go absolutely hammer and tong. I know I've mentioned the Insanity videos. The reason why I think they're very good is because a lot of them are around half hour to 40 minutes. They're very, very quick, very, very easy, and they're bloody hard if you work hard on them. They're really, really hard. So, actually, absolutely perfect workout. Squarish is saying in the chat, those sad lights do work well if you get a good one. I find the alarm clock lights make a massive difference as well. Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, 100%. I am going to give them a go myself. So, yeah, that is what I'm going to try to do to help myself. So, again, if you're looking through the benefits of winter workouts, it's going to help your physical preparation for your summer bod, and it's going to help you with boosting your mood. All right, massively important. So I know I'm going to do it, so hopefully you can do it too. Any other questions on our muscle moment? If not, I will turn on our video camera and hopefully we've got power. Yes, we do. Let's zoom in and let's change over and get back to some painting. There we go. Let's zoom in a bit. There we are. So hopefully that was an informative muscle moment for you peeps. Hopefully it was enjoyable to a point. Is there any questions on the muscle moment at all? Is there anything that you want to ask, phys-wise? Physical training-wise? Excuse the cable that's dangling right by my face. If we don't, we'll lose our camera. So we have to have it on, unfortunately. Any questions at all on the phys? On the physical training? Drop it in the chat. If you don't want to drop it in the chat and you're a little bit shy or whatnot, you can always email me at Minis-N, as in the letter N, Minis-N-Muscles at gmail.com. So you can fling across an email and say hello that way instead. And you can ask your question there. But we're back into our mini. What did I want to also include? Oh, I've just missed it here. Oh, why did that not copy in? Rubbish! Okay, well, the part I wanted to also cover today was my new found hobby of Pokemon. So I got a newfound hobby of Pokemon. Yeah, it's probably aimed at people far younger than I, but I thought, sod it. I love collecting. I love the thrill of the chase of collecting things and finding things and all the rest of it. And I thought, oh, sod it, I'm going to give it a go. So I started collecting the old Pokemon. Not the old one, the new ones, obviously. The old ones are very expensive. But I thought, sod it, I'm gonna collect some. And I started collecting the Shrouded Fable set, for those of you that know Pokemon. The reason I chose this collection, twofold. One, it's a really cool colour. The box is like a bright pink and a bright green, and I just thought they were it was a really cool combination of colours. And two, it's one of the smaller Pokemon collections. I don't know if any of you do collect Pokemon or know much about it, but some of the collections are pretty big. And that's quite a daunting task if you actually want to try and collect some and catch them all. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to try and collect a full set of Pokemon. And I have started. My journey is going well, I tell you. It is going well so far. So I bought a folder so I could keep them all nice and tidy. And I've got quite a few. I have got to the point where I'm about 20 cards off finishing a set. In fact, I'm probably less than that now. And I'm pretty impressed with that. Now, I have to admit, the cards that I've got left to find, yes, they're the bloody expensive ones. They're gonna be, right? Because everyone is after these blooming cards. They're so popular, it's unreal. But it's quite a cool little thing to do, you know. I've been really chuffed with collecting them. It's quite fun. If you're like me and you like you like the sort of mystery of not knowing what you're getting and that chance of winning, you know, as in winning a really cool Pokemon or finding a really cool Pokemon, it's actually quite fun getting those packets and sort of opening them up. Regardless of whether you do or you don't get it, it's the sort of thrill of the chase. It's really cool. I've actually massively enjoyed collecting this set. don't get me wrong, it's frustrating when you get, you know, 4 of the same blooming Pokemon that you've already got. But it's actually pretty fun. I was quite surprised how much I did enjoy it. I only did it just to try it, just to see what it was like. Because you have to try things. If you don't, then how can you ever criticise it? So I thought I'd give it a go. I did, and I've actually really enjoyed it. So in a second, I thought, well, I'll just show you my little collection. Because I'm quite proud of it. For a first timer, I'm pretty chuffed. Anyone else in the chat collect Pokemon at all? Be interesting if you do. What's your thoughts on collecting Pokemon? Anyone got any thoughts on collecting Pokemon? Anyone at all? Ah, JPC! JPC in the house! Just making the stream. Welcome, buddy. Just to update you, we're still on the tank. We've got the tank back. And we're just doing small details tonight. So things like the little lights you see here. We're sort of filling all that in just so we've got a bit of detail. But I just wanted to pop over to this. Because here is my Pokemon collection for Shrouded Fable, right? I bought these folders. They were $3.99 on sale. So if you do collect Pokemon or cards in general, these are really cool. Made by a company called Ultra Pro. I remember them as a kid when I had Magic the Gathering cards. All they are is folders like so, with plastic card sleeves in them. So you can put cards straight in them. I actually put my cards into what they call penny sleeves, and then put the card in the penny sleeve inside the sleeve in the folder to keep them extra special. But look at this. I've actually done really well. I've got all of these cool Pokemon, and there's not many that, like, so far. Oh, look, there's one there that I'm missing up the top. So there's one so far out of this whole thing. Look at all these lovely shiny. Oh, you can't see because of the light, but lovely shiny Pokemons there, all the way through. So that whole folder is complete by one, right? And then we get through to the second folder, and the second folder. Oh, there's one there missing, so there's 2 that I need. Now we get to the super rare stuff, and I've got this page and this page and this page to fill. But I do have on the back side, these are just lands and energies. Sorry, not lands. I'm thinking of magic. They're energies. But I do have all these promotional ones as well. So I've even got all the promotional ones. I'm so chuffed with this. And there's all the basic energies. So I have almost a full set of Pokemon. But like I said, 15, maybe 20 cards. I'm proud as punch. I've just got to move my notes across to the other side because I'm running out of battery. So let's just quickly swap that over. Hopefully we will be able to plug that in. There we go. Yeah, so I was really chuffed with that. JPC saying, what expansion were you playing in Magic, or did you just collect? So I played Magic in 1997. I think it's 97 through to about 99, about 2 years. I don't even remember what Magic it was called, because now all the Magic, they've got all names to the expansions. I'm pretty sure I was running on OG Magic cards, because a lot of mine were all old white border cards. And yes, they were all the rare ones. And yes, I had my whole collection in a sleeved folder like that until I was about 30. And I remember throwing every single one of them out into the dump. And I said to my dad at the time, no, don't worry, Dad, I don't need them. And I've looked back since, and that collection was worth thousands. So yeah, I'm rather gutted. The Magic cards I was running at the time were of the original Black Lotus era. I didn't have the original Black Lotus, I had lots of other of the cards. So yeah, painful time. But, you know, you live and you learn. So yeah, do you play Magic the Gathering yourself then, JPC? Adrian's saying, Magic the Gathering gets its away, my eyes hurt. No, they weren't Magic the Gathering, they were Pokemon. Bearded Veteran saying, even the first time round I wasn't into Pokemon or football stickers, to be honest. However, lately I've been collecting Oxford diecast and Corgi models. Corgi models are really, really valuable. I do have still completed the original Merlin Premier League football sticker collection. It's from 94, which was the first ever release, 95, 96 and 97, all completed. I have all of them, every single one, and they are in a folder somewhere, so I have all of those. I did think it was around 95, 96, 95, 96. Yeah, yeah, it was really addictive, Magic. I really liked it. To be fair, I really liked it. Probably didn't play all the rules properly because I was a young lad, but it was cool as heck. And it was just quite nice. Again, another collection to do, right? Another collection's quite fun. That's what I like about it. It's the same reason I started collecting that Pokemon set. Not because I'm particularly adorned with Pokemon. They're alright, don't get me wrong. Some of the artwork on the cards is fantastic. But it's just because it's fun. It's a little collection, and I love collecting. Absolutely love collecting. It's fun as heck. I love the thrill of the chase. I love collecting. It's bloody brilliant. So you should all collect stuff. There we go. Oh, it said my viewers have dropped off. It says I've got no viewers. Is that right? I was on 7 a minute ago. Oh no, back to 2. What's going on here? How do I go from 7 to 2? Or well, down to 0 and then down to 2. What's gone on? Was me talking about Pokemon what turned everybody off? And everyone's just switched off because I was talking about Pokemon and collecting cards and that sort of stuff. That's not good. What happened, guys and girls? Are we still there? Drop in the chat and let me know you're still there, because we might have an internet issue here otherwise. Hopefully not. But it's possible. But I was just talking about collecting things and how fun it is. And how it's not that bad to collect things like Pokemon even at the age of 40. But I was quite proud of myself because I've almost finished a set. I'm not far off completing it. And I thought that was quite a cool little achievement. And it would be worth a few bob as well. So a full set will be worth, you know, probably... That full set's probably worth £1,000. It didn't cost me £1,000. But, you know... Pretty cool. Still here, says Bearded Veteran. Okay. YouTube live view account can be weird at times. Ah, okay. JPC was saying Ice Age was my favourite Magic expansion. I collected lots of baseball cards. I did dabble in collecting some American football cards. So I every now and then when I pop over to America, I grab some American football cards. Again, just for the fun of it, just to see if something pops up. The trouble is, though, I don't know what I don't know. So I don't realise what I am collecting, what I'm not, you know. So I have to search them all up. But it's still fun. It's still quite nice to do. It's not, you know, an expensive thing. I don't drink, I don't smoke. So, you know, doing that is the least of my worries. So, yeah, so... I can't remember what the Magic expansions were called back when I played. I have not got a clue for the life of me. I'll have to Google that actually. What was the Magic expansion back in 1995? Oh, sorry, 1996 probably is when I played. 97, 98, 99 maybe. Maybe a couple of years. So unless someone knows on the channel that's sitting in listening and watching. If you know, drop it in and tell me. I'm just giving the tank right now just a little bit of a different, just dropping in some red here, just on one panel, just because I think sometimes lots of the same colour is just a bit overwhelming. So I thought I'll just drop some red in here for the Battle Sisters. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That looks quite cool. There we go. Dropping a red panel that side and a red panel that side. Nice. Okay. So we got that. Oh, I do want to put some shade into those little monument things that are on the front. So see those little things down here on that side and that side? I just want to drop some shade onto those. And I'm not talking about shade as in the phrase that the youngsters use to talk about insults. I'm talking about a bit of this. A bit of Agrax Earthshade. I just want to drop that into there. What we're saying in the chat. Bearded Veg saying still here. Adrian saying a power fist with underslung Stormbolter. Yeah. Honey Ann saying still here. I only have one Pokemon card from 1997. It's a holographic Japanese Gyarados. Nice. Do you know what? That's probably worth a bloody mint, you know. I'd check that if I were you. You can get an app. And I have it on my phone, right? It's called... I think it's called Rare Candy, right? Rare Candy is the app. It's specifically for Pokemon, and you can scan your card. So it just lets it use your camera on your phone. You take a picture of your Pokemon card. It scans it, and it tells you how valuable it is. It will give you the value of the card. It's pretty cool, actually. The app. It's actually very, very good for keeping track of all your cards and bits and bobs. I like it very much. So yeah, if I was you, I'd have a look at that, Honey Ann, and scan your Pokemon card and see what happens. Because the chances are you're sitting on a little gem there. So again, another stupid thing I did with my Magic the Gathering. Yes, I just told you I threw them all out. A massive folder, probably about this thick, full of sleeved cards. From the mid-late 90s. So, yeah, I threw loads of valuable cards out. I'm a dunce. Also in that was a pack of original Pokemon from America that my dad brought back and gave to me as a present. It wasn't big over here. I didn't really like Pokemon as a kid. Didn't play it ever. The cards sat wrapped in my drawer for years, and I mean years and years and years, and then I threw them out with the Magic cards. Those Pokemon cards, if there was one of those original ones that everyone's looking for, would have been, which is quite possible, could be worth $225,000. $225,000. Oh, it's sickening. I do know that Magic the Gathering collection because I did stupidly check the values, and that Magic the Gathering card collection I had was probably worth about 30 or 40,000, and I threw them all away. I didn't know it was worth 30,000, of course I didn't, but you know, that is what happens. So, moral of the story, guys and girls, never throw anything out. Keep it, no matter what people say. Keep it. Because you could be like me and you could throw it out. So if you go to throw something out, just think, no. Minis-N-Muscles Steve told me never to throw anything out. Keep it. And I genuinely stand by that statement. Because it's painful when you realise that what you had was worth thousands and you've missed out on it. Bearded Veteran saying, I went on the Oxford Diecast website on Black Friday and got 4 diecast metal trackside vehicles for 23 quid. Should have been over 100. Wow. That is super cheap. Like, super cheap. That's really, really cheap. Yeah, I mean, well, that's cool. I did know a guy that had a load of corgi stuff. And this was on a farm. But he didn't preserve them or anything, but they were corgis from hundreds of years ago in this farm building. The roof was almost collapsed in and they were all on this shelf around the edge. And they were like super rare, super old corgis with the old rubber tyres and everything, and you wouldn't get rid of them. But they must have been worth a fortune. But he wouldn't give them away, so or not give them away, but he wouldn't let me take them off his hands, shall we say. Yeah, very interesting. How things can, things that you don't feel would have been of value, all of a sudden become hyper valuable. It's pretty cool, to be fair. It is a cool feeling when you realise that you've got something that's worth something. Like I say, that Pokemon collection, I'd never thought that would be worth, hundreds, possibly £1,000. That's madness. It didn't cost me that to collect them all. Maybe I've just been lucky on my first collection, but I don't know. I don't know. So again, on our tank, we are trying to fill these tiny little details now. So you guys aren't going to see much. Well, I don't know if you can see much, but it's really small details now we're filling in. It's just the sort of real minor pieces. And this Sunday, the tank will be going back into battle. So I've got 2,000 points of sisters going up against World Eaters and Chaos Knights. So yeah, I'm battling my sisters against two of my mates. So it's just me, 2,000 points. They have 1,000 points each. And we've got a battle on Sunday. So wish me luck, peeps, because that's going to be a hell of a battle. Like I say, I've resigned myself to losing for the first year of playing Warhammer, whilst I understand the rules and get used to it all. But I do sneakily want to win this. It's not that I want to lose. I do sneakily want to win, and I have been kind of every minute break I can get at work today. I was sort of thinking about what could I do here, what could I do there, how am I going to play this, how am I going to play that. So, I have been thinking about it a lot. We'll see, though. It could end disastrous. The guys know their armies better than I know mine. They've been playing a lot longer than me. So it is going to be a tough matchup. For me to win, it's going to be pretty hard. But I am up to the challenge. Never shy to back away from something. I am right. Okay, cool. Let's play. Let's get it on. So I will be trying to win this Sunday. So this Sunday, when you're having your Sunday lunch, think about me, Steve at Minis-N-Muscles, trying to fight off the Chaos Hordes and the filthy Xenos scum. So I will be trying to do that this weekend. We'll see how successful or not it is. I'm not sure. To be fair, I'm genuinely not sure how it will roll. But I'll update you as of next week. I'll tell you how it all went. We'll see if we can get a win. Or if we can't get a win, like I say, I'll take the moral victory and wipe out all their models. I'm quite happy with that. Because it's also learning about how strong your army is and what they're good at doing and not good at doing. So I'm completely okay with losing in that manner. Right, there's those candelabra. Is it a candelabra? What's the thing you stick candles on? Can't remember. Is it a candelabra? I think so. Let's call it a candelabra. That'll do. Righty. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. Pretty good. Putting some colour onto the back of that. Oh, that could have some shade thrown in there. How are we doing in the chat anyway, guys and gals? Oh yeah, the current users or the viewers has gone back up again. How strange YouTube is. OSL reference size object source lighting. Oh, okay, got you. Yeah. Don't do that. Let's not complicate the situation. Let's not get ourselves confused. So all I'm doing here, it's really cheaty. I've given this object in the back a little base coat of white, and then I've just got the shade. I'm just going over the top to fill all the recesses and give you the illusion that I've painted this so well and I know exactly what I'm painting. But it's not. It's just cheating. But that's what we're here to do. We're not here to be pro painters here on Minis and Muscles. We are here to find easy solutions to painting and finding quick ways to do things. So is anyone else painting a mini whilst we're painting tonight? Excuse me. Anyone else painting a mini? Oh, we've got to do this part, the pulpit. The pulpit. What colour should the pulpit be? You know where little Steve is going to stand. So we've got this little area here. We've got little Steve. He's going to sit behind here. What area should this be painted? What colour, sorry, should that area be painted? That's what I've meant to say. What colour should the little pulpit that Mini Steve has been sat in? What should that be? I might have to cover that, you know. It doesn't look flat. It looks like that stained glass window. Let's have a look. We've got some... Let's have a look here. So we're going to roll some of this stuff out. We're going to get the green stuff out, which I'm really bad at doing. So green stuff, it looks like this. It's just putty. When you rub the two green and the blue side together, it then forms and hardens into a sort of hard, plasticky kind of feel. You don't need a huge amount of this. This is even this that I'm pulling off now. That's probably way too much. You very rarely use a lot of this stuff. It's so good. But all you do is need to roll it together. I'm just going to roll it together on here. Try and mix the two up a bit. Knead it between your fingers. Right, so it does get a little bit tacky when you're doing it on your fingers and you have to wash your hands afterwards, but you know, it's no worry. So as you see it's starting to turn colour into a greeny colour, and as it goes green it starts to get very sticky, and at that point you know, right, okay, it's getting there, it's going there. So then all we're going to do, all I want to do is I want to zigga no? Yeah, so Adrian's saying fill the cracks and gaps with green stuff. Yeah, so that's my plan, Adrian. That's my plan. So get my green stuff on here, and I'm not very good with green stuff, to be fair. There are people that I've watched, and they're so good at like manipulating it and moving it about. I'm like, how the hell did they even do that? They make it look so easy. And I really struggle with green stuff. But right, there's one piece done. Right, that's one side. We might need to do some more here for the next side. Boop. Let's cut that off. There we go. Let's mix this together as well. So there you go. There's one side done. Let's just move that into frame so you can see. I'm going to try and do that. Perhaps file off those moulding lines on the exhausts. On the exhausts. Oh, on the tops of the exhausts. Yeah. I'm not too fussed about that, mate. You know, there's so many little details that you can do on these. It will take forever, and I'm not a perfectionist. And you could, with models like this, you could spend days, hours, months, weeks, whatever, perfecting these models to make them look perfect. Now, none of my models are ever going to go for the Golden Demon Award. Those of you who don't know, the Golden Demon Award is a prestigious painting award for Warhammer models. But I want to play with this model. I don't want it to be stuck on this table and us chatting on this channel 6 months later still doing this simulator. I want to play with the model. So, you know, I think I would rather personally get the model painted and sorted and ready than mess around with you know, tiny little details. I know the details do count, but again, we're not here on Minis and Muscles to tell everyone this is how you be the best painter in the world, and this is, you know, we're here just to say, look, enjoy making it, make it look half decent and put effort into it, of course, but you don't want it to take you bloody 10 million years just to get one model done. God, I want to be kicking ass on the table. You know, I don't want to be sort of stuck. Oh, what's that bloody hair doing? I don't want to be sort of trying to still do this 6 months down the road. That's not my intent. I want to get this done and on to the next model. I've got so many to do. That's the thing as well. When you start collecting armies, you realise how much you have to do. And there is a lot. There's a lot. A serious amount. I couldn't, like, I've got loads sat there still, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man. I'm trying to build a tank as well. I've got another tank I'm building on the side that I want to use on Sunday. It won't be painted, but it'll be built, and they might have a little bit of liquor paint on it somewhere. But that, I want to try and get that built, so that's on my kitchen dining room table. So after this, I'm going to go in and put that together and finish that off, just so it's built. Because I want to play the game as well. So I want to get these to look cool, but I also really do want to play the game. So if it wasn't that, maybe one day I'll try and do a perfection model, and I'll try and go for ultimate perfection. But that green stuff there is good enough. We've just covered the edges, so it's now flat rather than being all bumpy and looking like it was stained glass window. So that's what we want. Just want to try and get rid of some of those little depressions. So there's another guy I've watched, and he's got this like tool with green stuff, and it's like a little tiny tool, and it's like he just sort of rubs the green stuff, and it just smooths it all out. I'm like, how the heck is he doing that? Just like when I try rubbing it, it just freaking sticks like that. But never mind, that'll do. Right, that's the pulpit. Okay, all right, we got that sorted at least. This little bit in that corner. Go, pulpit done. Righty. Wet your finger to stop it sticking to you. Oh, is that how you do, is it? Yeah, it kind of works. Thanks, Adrian. Appreciate that. Try and get it across there. Nice. Okay, it does actually work, wetting your finger. Great tip. There we go. Okay. All right. There we go, there we go, there we go. Sorted. Green stuff always leaves like really sticky mess on your hands afterwards. Use silicone tools and water to smooth it out. Okay, I don't have that. It's 40k cool. We know those top doors will never open. Yeah. That is true, that is true. I don't have a silicone tool, so I'm going to have to buy one, I think. Oh no, I've used my maximum spend this month. Alright, I won't be buying one this month. It'll be next month, because as we were talking about earlier, I set a maximum spend for the month to try and be frugal. And that was set at, what did I set it at? 50 quid. So yeah, I can't be spending more than 50 quid, peeps. Oh no. I wonder if this would work better, this plastic tool. Rather than... it kind of works. It's smudging a bit of paint off, but I'm going to paint the thing anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm just licking the plastic tool and using the plastic tool. Yeah, it does work actually. It doesn't work too bad. I'm probably eating half the paint here, but you know. Never mind. It's a bit better. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Nice. Okay. So, we've got that sorted at least. That's that bit done. So we're going to paint that in a minute. I'm just sort of scraping some paint off of this my paint splodger. So yeah, so we've got that done. So that's good. So we'll paint that turret shortly. Might even be able to get that done. No, in fact, it won't be dry enough. Not on this stream. Right, what we do next? Let's have a look. We've got the lady at the back. Let's stick some detail on this lady at the back. Here we go. So, we want some silver here. She's got these like silver little tubes on her power armour that come around the front. So let's paint those. Noticed a bit there that I've missed. It's always when you go around your model. Does everyone do that? When you go around your model, you then also notice little bits that you've missed. And you're realising, oh crap, I didn't do that bit. Just because you've held the model in at a different angle. And you suddenly see all your failures and the bits you've not done. You're like, oh no. I do that a lot. And then like, oh no, I've just missed that bloody piece there. And you've got to go back and get the colour out. And that colour's just dried on your wet palette because you've not used it for a week. Yeah, quite often happens. There we go, get some black across there. Tidy that up. North. Okay. All I'm doing now is as I'm going around this lady, I'm just checking all the little areas that I've not done or missed. Just sticking a bit of extra paint in there. Perhaps blacken the exhaust vents. Blacken them. Oh yeah, could do. Could put black on the top of those. Yeah. Bit saying go for the cake decorating silicone tool. They're a lot cheaper and do the same job as the clay sculpting ones. Nice. I shall have a look. JPC, I just put what I'm working right now on the Discord. Ah, nice one, JPC. I love looking at your models that you're painting. So anyone that is got models that they're painting and they want to share with the community, stick it in the chat. I would absolutely love to see it. I do genuinely love to see other people's models and what they're painting. It takes distraction away from my terrible painting, and I get to see what you guys are doing, and I think that's really cool. I love sharing and learning through experience and learning through you guys sharing with me what you guys are doing. I think that's the fun part of the geeky culture as a whole, right? It's super inclusive. Everyone's friendly. Everyone wants to chat. I love that. I hate fucking boring fart people that never want to talk and they're grumpy about everything. Although saying that, I was really grumpy about the weather earlier, wasn't I? So I can't talk much. Just noticed part of her backpack hasn't got any colour on. Which is really weird. I swear I spray painted this model all before I put it together. Okay. Okay. Right, so I need a little bit of white actually, just to finish up her hair, and then we can put some nuln oil across her hair just to bring out the shade in the areas. And it brings out the shape. That's what I wanted to say. It brings out the shape of the hair. Crikey, it's 9:15. Didn't realise that was the time. We're almost at the end of the stream, guys. Blimey. That's gone fast. That's gone really fast. Yeah, sometimes time just flies when I'm doing these streams. I'm chatting away and I don't realise that, you know, it's been like 2 hours or whatever of me chatting crap. Hopefully interesting crap. There we go, just tied out the back of her hair. I don't think on this one you can see... Oh, you can see her eyebrows, so I best get those in. Right. There's one. Now it's just getting the right angle for the second one. Two. Nice. Okay. Got them. Got to get her eyes in as well. Always difficult to get the old eyes in. But it should be good. Bodge that. It's alright though, don't worry. I find quite often with eyes, when you end up going over the edges, it doesn't really matter. Because you have to go back and revisit and tidy it and tighten everything in. So usually what I do with eyes is I do the whole face skin colour, and then I get just a sort of off-white to go across where the eyeballs would be. I do a line down either eye, and then I just tidy it in and bring the skin shade in to close it around the eye. Adrian saying, will little Steve fit behind that GS cupola? Yeah, so little Steve will sit here. Just like that. Oh, hold on, if I can stand him up. There we go. There was... Oh, you can't really see, actually. There's a top-down view of where little Steve will stand. Like that. If I can tilt it to its side, you can see little Steve stood there. Look. So that is where little Steve is going to stand. He's got his... I don't know if you can see, his little book. There you are, with some script in it. I did change his pistol because I had a non-GW pistol, and I've just changed it, and then I've actually got a bolt pistol and then cut the end off and put a melter end on the bolt pistol just for fun. Just to make it look different, because Ministorum priests actually have a different pistol anyway, so I thought, oh, that'll be alright, stick that in there. That'll be cool. Alright. So they're all looking half decent. Half. So after I do finish all of this, the one thing I do need to do is I need to lacquer it all to stop my big fat fingers from wiping all the colour off all the time, because that's one thing that I do pretty well. Especially when you're playing with the miniatures as well, rather than just sitting on your shelf, right? Just a bit of lacquer. All I use for that as well is lacquer from Halfords. Just paint lacquer from Halfords that you would use on a car. I just use that because it's really cheap and it's pretty good actually. And it's not a bright effect, it's a fairly dull effect. So it's a sort of more satiny approach rather than a glossy finish for the lacquer. So it's quite good. Ooh, there's a little symbol there that I need to paint. 2 little symbols actually. Let's get those done. Yeah. So, as we sort of approach the last couple of minutes for tonight's stream, what's everyone doing tonight? Tell me. Are you going out? Are you doing anything fun? Are you just chilling at home this evening? Or are you doing something crazy? Somewhere, sometime, the people of Minis-N-Muscles go crazy. Let's just colour these in, just to tighten up the edge on that. Nice. Again, dark. Oh, shizer. Did I just put that in there? No, I didn't. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfecto. Just has to be good. I really don't like how that is. Where I've done the green stuff over here. I might have to file that down and repaint that because it looks absolute poop. Just looks like someone's taken a literal poop on the side there, so I might have to change that at some point and get rid of that. File it down. Let's add a little bit here, a little bit there. There we go. It's a slightly different off-white for that, or a sort of creamy colour rather. Redo these because these could do a redoing. They don't seem very bright and vibrant, these ones, for whatever reason. So we get around here. How's that looking? There we go. How's that done? North. North, north, north. There we are. Oh, Adrian's off. Good night. He needs a beer. Fair one, Adrian. Go and enjoy your beer. Celebrate the rest of your birthday. Have a cracking one, mate. Absolute pleasure to have you on board with us as always. Bearded Veteran saying, my days of wild Friday nights out are long behind after 9 years of marriage, but yeah, I don't think it's marriage, I think it's just age. I get bored. I was going to say SHIT-less, but I get bored out of my skull with going out. I can't think of anything worse to do. Like genuinely, like hanging around with a load of douchebags drinking and can't handle their drink and then end up wanting a scrap and oh man, I can't think of anything worse. I just lose my patience for stuff like that. I've got no time for it, so I just stay out, stay in, stay out of the way of that. That's what I should say. It's just I just don't find it entertaining in any way. I wish I'd have woken up a bit earlier about not enjoying it. Because even when I sort of thought to myself I didn't really enjoy going out, I still did it because I thought that's what you had to do. I could have saved so much money. So much money I could have saved, but stupidly didn't. There are little window wipers right in this little gap here. I'm going to try and get. Hey, got 'em. Nice. That's quite cool. Little window wipers. Yeah, Friday nights just don't appeal for me for going out and getting drunk. It's just not my thing. I genuinely couldn't think of anything worse. And I'd advise any young people watching this, not that there's probably any young people watching this, but if there is, and I mean young like, 18 to 25, if there's any young people watching, don't bother. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. It really ain't all that. Give it a hard pass. It sucks. You only waste your money. You only end up falling out with friends or making a douche of yourself or spending money that you don't really have or shouldn't be spending. Right. Just doing the black lines on the eyes. It's very... Oh, darn it. Oh, sod. Just tried to clear it up then, and I buggered it up. Oh, what a tip. One side's good and one side's freaking ruined. Eyes are a pain in the bum. That is for sure. That is very, very difficult. Very difficult. Even when you do this sort of method of the white for the eye, then the black line down, and then you just sort of bring the skin in to close off the eye. It's still so difficult, and the slightest movement and you do cock it all up like I just did there. It's awful. Right, I'm starting again. Let's just get rid of that. Yeah. Did anyone else find that? Oh, Penny's Pit Stop. Evening. You haven't missed it. Well, you kind of missed. You got the last 5 minutes, man. So don't worry. It's all cool. Don't worry. Billy Veteran saying, same here. Working as a barman when I was younger taught me to pity those who need to get drunk to have fun rather than join them. Yeah. It does suck, doesn't it? Like, sod it. It's just not fun. Just not fun at all. Hope you're well, Penny's Pit Stop, and all is good. You've joined us and we're back on painting the emulator. Our custom emulator, and today's really, mate, about doing some of the small details. And by small details, I don't mean absolutely everything and perfecting things. It's purely to get it tabletop ready, so I can go play with it. So just making it look good. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it don't look bad. Righty. Okay, well I'm going to start to wrap up here. Oh no, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a bit of mud, didn't I, on the tracks? Let's do that. That doesn't take that long. Grab some mud. So we're just going to use for this one some technical mud. We're going to use. I'm going to slop a bit of this on. See how it goes. Get that. I want to put that on my little tissue. I'm just going to go around the tracks and just add. Ah, no! Knocking things over. I just want to add some mud to the tracks. Just a little sort of splashes up around the arches. Again, doesn't have to be precise, doesn't have to be amazing. Just, you know, bit here, bit there. A bit maybe on the underside of that arm, that front arm. Just trying to give it a bit of a dabble here and there, just to give it a bit of mud, just to give it a bit of an effect. Doesn't have to be perfect at all when you're doing this sort of stuff. It can almost be kind of slapped on here and there and everywhere. Just coming down the sides of the tracks now. Oh, let's just get rid of that, a bit much on there. Oh, sugar, that looks like. That's what I didn't want. I didn't want. Be careful when you're doing this sort of mud effect. What you don't want is what I just did there, and to touch the side of the hull and pull down in a brushstroke motion, because it actually looks like brush strokes then. What you want is a kind of dapple effect. So as I'm doing here, more of the sort of just dotting on very lightly with your dry brush. That gives you a better look than stroking the brush down and painting as you would normally, right? So that's what I was trying to do. But it's right, I can cover that up, that's fine. Across the bottom of the tracks, just running your brush over, that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to do on the insides of the tracks because they're not really going to get seen. So I'm just going to do the outsides. Again, just dappling, is that the right word? Yeah, I think so. Oh, that's not what I wanted. It is dappling, isn't it? Am I being mad there? It's dappling? I think it is. I think that's the word. Righty. Bit on the front here. Go. Bit on the front, bit on the sides. I'm going to have to tidy that up because that just doesn't look right. So we're going to have to quickly go over in black, and we'll have to redo that section again. Just because it looked just a bit odd where the brush strokes were in, rather than thingamabobbying. Oh, Mira! Hello, Mira! Went to Games Aid dinner last night with Gary. Very nice. He had a lot of... Ah, thank you. Where's my shirt? Are you not cold? No, I'm not cold, Mira. I'm in the man cave. And men don't get cold, you know. We are a gruffly bunch of hardened warriors. That's what we are. How are you, Mira? I hope you're well. Hope the Games Aid thing was cool. Some brown along there. There we go. There we go. Righty. Oh no, it's the back. I need some on the back. Can't have none on the back, can we? So let's just get some mud on the back. Okay, we've got a little bit left on our thingamabob here on our cloth. A little bit left. And put a bit of mud at the top of that as well, where the tailgate would go down into the mud if it was ever dropped. So I'm just going to put an extra bit of mud there and there. Knife. And as my sort of dry brush fades out of the brown, I'll just sort of start to put it up the hole a little bit higher. Just so you get that real subtle kind of look of the brown. Spin around. So I did start on this side actually, so that's alright. Bear in mind when you're doing this kind of thing as well, make sure you use an old crappy brush. Don't use your nice brush. There you go. That's better. Can you see now? How this side. Oh, I'm out of camera. Can you see how this side looks a lot better now? Now I've got rid of the actual brush strokes. There we go. So if I can zoom in just a little bit. All right. Let's just reposition this camera. This thingamabobby. I'm not worrying. JPC. Did you get back in time after Dragon Meat? Is that for me or JPC? But yeah, I think it was for me, and yes, I did. I don't know if you can see that, guys, but you can see a very faint dusting of mud around there and around the back of the hull now, going up along this bit as well, where this door would drop down into the mud. And you've got again light faint sprinkling of mud. It's very hard to see in this light actually. But there is mud there. I don't know if I can zoom in any more. One out. There you go. Yeah, so it's just very light, faint mud along the sides. You can see that side as well. But yes, and some on the front too. Not too much. Little less is more. Right, so she's actually coming along real well. I'm actually proper chuffed with this. It's super cool. So thank you for the inspiration chat on doing this. Very much appreciated. Right. Well, it's 4 minutes past 9. I've run over like a madman that I am, breaking rules. Gosh, how very dare I. Now let's go back to the main view. So just to wrap up. So we covered today plenty of chat about Dragon Meat and how Dragon Meat went and what was going on there. All the way through to how to do some training in the winter and avoid the winter blues, and sort of little tips and tricks. We spoke about collecting stuff, and I showed you my Pokemon collection and how that's going. That's pretty good, with about 15 to 20 cards left to get in the set. I'm so excited. And then we carried on with our painting and our general geek chat. So today we didn't really have a topic. We actually kind of covered absolutely everything and anything, really. And that was quite nice. Rather than having a fixed conversation, it was more of an open free flow. I've just got mud all over my hands, or paint mud anyway. Stupid me. But yeah, it was nice just to have a free flow chat. As always, I appreciate every single one of you joining me. So at points we had quite a few people logging in. It was very nice to see you all. Hopefully you've had a wonderful week. Let's put that down. Hopefully you will continue to have a wonderful week. I'm glad, Mira, you're okay and you're doing well. I'm glad everyone else in the chat is doing well. Don't worry if you missed the stream, and thank you for watching, regardless of whether you jump on at the last minute or watch it in historical view when I upload the video. I appreciate every single one of you. Please don't forget to like the video. It does a lot for me and helps me out. Please, please, please share the channel. Tell everyone about us. Get everyone onto us. And let's build this community so we have a lovely little chat, paint and geekery on Friday nights. So thank you all for joining. I appreciate every single one of you. Like, share, subscribe. As I've said, get everyone onto the channel, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate every one of you. Love you all. Peace out.
Minis-N-Muscles, we're heroes, right? The dying world still body skies. Rushing air, with power we fight. Strength that brings you light in the night. Where the brawn meets the brush. The story's told in this love imagination mode. With every stroke, adventures unfold. Minis-N-Muscles, heart and soul. capturing the